Well, I'll tell you, they're not even threatening. Guys, I want you to freeze it right here. Take a look. There's not one receiver even trying to release, and as a result, take a look who's coming up to make the play. That's your cornerback, LeVar Glover. There's no threat. Of course your secondary is going to be at the line of scrimmage if you're not releasing a receiver into the end zone.
Loss of 4 on the play. The Stampeders' best chance to score their first touchdown. Second and goal from the 12. Barrick Neely under fire. Dropping back to pass. He's got the happy feet again, under pressure, and sacked by Aaron Hunt. The sack leaders in the CFL. Their 41st, Aaron Hunt's 6th.
Well, that's Aaron Hunt's 6th, and he loves to play against the Stampeders because, Mark, of his 6 sacks, 4 are against Calgary. But that was an all-out jailbreak. And as a result, we talked about Barrick Neely maybe having some happy feet, but I don't care how good of a dancer, you're going to have a hard time dancing your way out of that kind of pressure.
Sandro DeAngelis will attempt this field goal from the 35-yard line. Second only to McCallum with the best percentage in the CFL, and he splits the uprights. So the Stamps have 7 points now and a field goal to show for their best offensive penetration of the game.
Well, it definitely was their best penetration, but I mean the yards offense, 358 to 184. They're just basically dominating. I mean, the stats don't lie in this case. Sometimes stats are favoring one team and the score doesn't really represent that. This time there's no lying. The BC Lions are dominating.
You know, and Barrick Neely has no idea what's going on out there. I mean, the BC Lion defense now is toying with him. They're showing multiple looks. They're blitzing from the linebacker position, from the defensive halfback position. And now he's, you know, just trying to keep his head above water, getting some advice from George Cortez.
Absolutely. He's talking to offense coordinator George Cortez, but I still think you're there. Send them down on streak patterns. Have everybody just run down the field, throw up a couple balls, try and get some pass interference calls, try and get something positive to happen.
He has a nice arm. Jarius Jackson throwing wide side, intended for Geroy Simon, and it's incomplete. J.R. Ruffin, the halfback in coverage for Calgary.
And Mark, the thing you got to talk about, they had a nice drive there, the Stampeders did. But up until then, it was basically 2 and out. And this Stampeder defense has been on the field all day long.
Yes, it will be a war of attrition for them. No question about that. J.R. Ruffin, his 4th game back after missing the first half of the season with a knee injury. The fastest player on the Calgary roster coming back to form. But they're being worn down here tonight. Stamps showing blitz. They bring it against Jarius Jackson. He will roll out of the pocket. Gargiulo in pursuit. Can't catch the quarterback. Flag is down. Coe hits him and just knocks him 10 yards further down the field. But a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Mark, it's interesting that with the huge amount of quarterbacks getting hurt, but you see Jarius Jackson taking off on this ball. They're going to call holding. It's going to be all for naught. And that would have been something to have him get injured. But I mean, he just tucks that ball down, gets outside of Gargiulo and takes off. Now he takes a great shot, as you say. Scott Coe's going to come in here and really lay the thing on him, but it actually pushes him 10 yards forward.
10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Well, the fans don't like it, but it's coming back on the holding call.
Let's take a look at Rob Murphy having a cigarette out there. Not a whole lot of pressure by him. He can pretty much have a Cuban and just look at the stands.
Second and 20 for the Lions. Jarius Jackson, outlet pass to Joe Smith, cutting upfield to the 30-yard line. And he's tackled on the spot by Shannon James. So it'll be 3rd down, 15 to go, and a punt situation as Brett Anderson will